Are you undecided as to whether you should buy the Canon EOS 250D, also known as the Rebel SL3, or the Canon Rebel T6, also known as the 1300D, but you're not sure if they're still a good purchase in 2023? This review will discuss whether these cameras are still good and whether you should buy either. First off, let's address which lenses these cameras are compatible with. Both cameras are compatible with Canon EF and EFS lenses. Examples of such lenses include the Canon EF 50mm f1.8 and the Canon EFS 18-55mm kit lens. And once you add third-party lenses to your selection, your options become almost limitless. Next up, what about storage? Do they have a dual SD card slot? No, entry-level and mid-level cameras do not have this feature. It's only available on high-end cameras. This feature lets you save each photo on both cameras simultaneously to get real-time backups. It's useful for pro gigs because even if one SD card fails, you can still recover everything from the second one. Although SD card failures are rare, it's theoretically possible, so having multiple SD cards that you rotate over time can help prevent data loss. Furthermore, you can avoid utilizing the backup function and instead use each card individually, effectively doubling your storage capacity. Another crucial point to mention is, do they have Wi-Fi connectivity? Yes, both cameras can do Wi-Fi. However, the 250D has no Bluetooth feature, as opposed to the T6, which does. Also, the T6 has an NFC feature that the 250D lacks. Expanding on that, what is their physical size? The dimensions of the 250D are 122.4 by 92.6 by 69.8 mm, or 4.82 by 3.65 by 2.75 inches, and weighs approximately 450 grams or 15.87 ounces. The T6, on the other hand, measures 129 by 101.3 by 77.6 mm, or 5.08 by 3.99 by 3.06 inches, and weighs in at about 485 grams or 17.11 ounces. Both cameras have a similar physical size, making them convenient to carry and giving them a low profile. However, this can vary based on the lenses you pick. I've actually reviewed quite a few lenses. If you'd like to check them out, you can find links below or click the card in the top right corner. The 250D has a sturdier build quality since it is constructed with aluminium alloy, polycarbonate resin and glass fiber. On the other hand, the T6 is made of carbon fiber, glass fiber and polycarbonate resin, making it less robust in terms of build compared to the 250D. So, what should you expect from their displays? Both cameras feature decent screens on the back, sufficient for navigating menus and viewing photos. The 250D screen is articulated, making it functional for vlogging, and it can also be turned around to protect it from scratches when not in use. Conversely, the T6 features a fixed screen that cannot be turned or moved. Next up, these two devices are rather versatile. How long will they last me when I'm out and about? The 250D is equipped with an LPE17 battery that can offer about 1,000 shots, while T6 has an LPE10 battery that provides about 500 photos. However, various factors can influence battery life, including screen usage, battery age, and air temperature. It's recommended to bring extra batteries with you for unexpected situations, particularly if others are involved in the shoot. By the way, if you find this video helpful, don't forget to leave a like. Additionally, if you'd like to buy any of the items mentioned in this review, you'll find affiliate links below in the description or in the pinned comment. Okay, now, can these two cameras produce good images? The kind of lens you choose will impact your images, but let's focus only on the cameras themselves since I don't know which lens you'll be using. Let's begin by discussing the sensors. Both cameras have an APS-C sensor the size of 22.3 by 14.9mm, with the 250D providing 24.1 megapixels and the T6 yielding 18 megapixels. You may wonder how the 250D and T6 differ in terms of processor. The Digic 8 is used in the 250D, while the Digic 4 Plus is used in the T6. But what exactly do these terms mean? Let's take a closer look at each processor's improvements for Canon cameras. Moving to the 4th Digic generation, there were some notable improvements like quicker image processing than earlier versions, noise reduction advancements in high ISO images, and the ability to record H.264 1080p videos. The 8th Digic generation brought several upgrades, such as better performance in areas like 4K video recording at 30 fps, superior dual pixel AF, improved autofocus, and enhanced tracking. The ISO range of the 250D is between 100 and 25,600, extendable up to 51,200, while the T6 is capable of 100 to 6400, expandable up to 12,800 if required. Keeping ISO low is usually suggested to reduce noise in your photos. In terms of autofocus, both models feature up to 9 autofocus points, which isn't fantastic. It's not terrible, but it's not fantastic either. Right, so are they equipped with dual pixel AF? So the 250D does have it, while the T6 does not. Dual pixel AF in addition to a high number of AF points usually means better autofocusing, which can really come in handy. Moving on, what about shutter speed? If you want to capture fast-moving subjects, can these cameras do that? Both of these cameras have a maximum shutter speed of 1/4000th of a second, which is nice. Right, but what if I want to capture multiple frames quickly, hoping to get some really cool photos of a fast-moving subject, like in sports or wildlife photography? If that's the case, you're looking for continuous shooting mode. The 250D can do 5 FPS in this mode, while the T6 can do 3 FPS. In other words, within 1 second, the 250D captures 5 photos, while the T6 captures 3. This is useful if capturing fast motion is what you're after. Within that second, the more frames you are able to do, the better the odds you will obtain the precise photo you want. Equally important, are they any good for video? The 250D is capable of shooting 4K at 20 fps and 1080p at 60 fps, while the T6 can shoot 1080p at 30 fps and 720p at 60 fps. However, neither of these cameras has Canon Log. Canon Log is a feature that can be found in more expensive cameras and provides more dynamic range. As a quick side note, while yes, the 250D can do 4K, it comes with a downside. When filming in 4K, the 250D applies a 1.7 times crop to the image, which means they will be significantly more zoomed in when compared to 1080p. Now, can either of these cameras stabilize footage? Nope, neither of them has IBIS. Most cameras offer digital stabilization, but as a general rule, you should stay away from that. Although in-body digital IS is an option, it is not typically great. The video also has the stabilization baked in, meaning you won't have a copy without it. Instead, it's best to shoot shaky footage and then use editing software like Premiere to stabilize it. If you desire optical stabilization, you can choose the Canon EFS 18-55mm kit lens with IS in the name. Using this lens will provide you with better in-lens stabilization in comparison to in-camera digital stabilization. If you want to learn more about these lenses and many others, you can find relevant links down below or click the card in the top right corner. Building on that idea, can you vlog with these cameras? At this point, pretty much any camera can be used for vlogging, but there are a few issues to bear in mind. First off, having a flip screen is ideal so you can see what you're doing when the camera is turned around. The 250D has a flip screen while the T6 doesn't. A flip screen helps when vlogging and protects the screen when in your bag. You have to consider the sensor type as well. Both have cropped APS-C sensors, which produce a more zoomed in image. As a result, shorter focal length lenses are recommended due to the camera's crop factor. Some lenses may be too zoomed in for handheld vlogging. If you're planning on filming handheld vlogs, the 18-55mm kit lens is a good option. It allows you to zoom out and capture more of the scene. Plus, if you opt for the version with IS, your videos will come out smoother. The Canon 24mm pancake lens is another option for wide shots, but keep in mind it doesn't have any IS, so your footage may be shakier. If you plan to record content simply by placing the camera on a tripod, you should consider different lens options. Instead of the 18-55mm or 24mm lens, you should consider the Canon EF 50mm f1.4 or f1.8 lens. They can capture more light, which produces beautiful bokeh, the blurry background effect. However, the Canon EF 50mm lenses are not suitable for handheld vlogging. They have no IS or image stabilization and have a more zoomed in view. Okay, so what should I expect in terms of durability? Neither of these cameras has weather sealing, so you have to be careful about that. I wouldn't use them in the rain or expose them to the elements in that way. In terms of maximum number of actuations, both cameras sit at around 100,000. Whenever you take a photo, it counts as one actuation. Based on an average of 10 photos taken per day, 100,000 actuations would last you about 27 years. It's important to note that other parts of the camera may break down before this limit is reached, and if you're purchasing a used camera, the count may need to be adjusted accordingly. Before buying the camera, check the listing to see how many photos it has taken. Right, so what are these cameras good for? Both are relatively versatile and can be utilized for portrait photography, street photography, product photography, landscapes, weddings, events, and documentary work. It should be noted that when engaging in these forms of photography, the lens selection holds greater importance than the specific camera used. The matter becomes more complicated if you're interested in capturing sports and wildlife images. Even though the lens you choose is significant, there are additional factors to think about. A quick shutter speed and a high number of frames per second in continuous mode are both necessary for sports and wildlife photography. The 250D is capable of 5 FPS in continuous mode, while the T6 is limited to just 3 FPS as previously stated. The maximum shutter speed of both the 250D and T6 is 1/4000th of a second. I hope this review has been helpful. If you're curious about the cost of these lenses in your area, there are affiliate links down below for your convenience. If you'd like to check out more reviews, you can either look down below for relevant links or click the card in the top right corner. Do you have any questions? Feel free to comment down below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and hit that bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.